I overheard my wife whispering to her mom, "Don't worry. After the baby comes, I'll divorce him and we'll live off the alimony and child support." I didn't confront her. I just recorded everything and called my lawyer. What happened in court when I played that recording? Hello Reddit I+ here. My name is Ronan Vale, and at the time all of this happened, I was 37, an engineer who thought he had every piece of his life exactly where it belonged. My wife, Marielle, was 32, and 6 months pregnant with the child I had prayed for, planned for, and built my entire future around. We'd been married 3.5 years, and I thought we were solid, not perfect, but steady the way a good marriage should be. I thought I knew the woman I married. I had no idea. The day, everything cracked. It started on a warm Thursday morning. I had driven halfway to the office before realizing I'd forgotten the laptop that held the entire presentation I was supposed to give at 2 p.m. Annoyed, I turned the car around. When I pulled into the driveway, I noticed a car parked behind mine. An old blue sedan. I recognized immediately Marielle's mother, Helena, a woman who lived nearly 4 hours away and visited only on holidays or when she needed to announce something dramatic. She never popped in just because. A random Thursday visit was off. The front door was unlocked. I stepped inside and heard low voices drifting from the kitchen. Sharp whispers, the kind that stop you in your tracks even if you're not trying to eavesdrop. I took one step closer. Then I heard it. The whisper that slit my world open. "I'm nervous, Mom. What if he doesn't just roll over? What if he actually fights me?" Marielle's voice shaky but not sad, almost anxious with anticipation. Helena replied, smug and sugary, "Sweetheart, he won't. Men never fight when a baby is involved, and the courts? They side with mothers 9 out of 10 times. Once that baby arrives, the judge practically hands you the win." My stomach dropped. "And the house?" Marielle whispered. "It's in both your names," her mother said. "That's instant equity for you. And with his salary, you'll get a nice monthly package, child support, plus alimony because you aren't working. You'll be able to live comfortably. Very comfortably." Then she laughed, actually laughed. My pulse hammered in my ears. "But sometimes I feel kind of guilty," Marielle murmured. "He's been happy about the baby, like, really happy." "Don't romanticize it," Helena snapped. "You're doing what's best for you and my grandchild. He's boring, you've said it 100 times. A good provider, yes, but not exciting, not passionate. You won't thrive with a man like that." Marielle sighed, almost amused. "Yeah, he is boring. Exactly. So the plan stands. Have the baby, play the doting mother for a few months, then file. Claim emotional neglect, overwork, whatever makes you look sympathetic." She lowered her voice. "And then you move back in with me. Your old room is already cleaned out, and I'll turn the garage into a nursery." Another laugh. "Everyone wins," Helena finished. Except him. I felt something inside me collapse. I had wanted this child so badly. I had built the crib myself. I had memorized every parenting article I could find. I had gone to every appointment. I thought we were building a family, but apparently, I was just funding one. I stepped back out of the house silently, got into my car, and drove aimlessly until the panic finally burned itself into a cold, razor-sharp calm. A calm that whispered one thing: document everything. The secret recordings. I drove to an electronics store and bought 3 small, voice-activated recorders. Expensive, discreet, perfect. That night, I acted normal. Smiled, admired the baby clothes Helena had brought, kissed my wife's forehead. Then, while she slept, I planted the devices. In the kitchen, inside a decorative jar, in the living room, tucked behind books, in our bedroom, cracked in my nightstand drawer. The next morning I called in sick. I wasn't sick. I was hunting for truth. From my car down the street, I listened live through the app. Helena arrived within an hour, and they started talking. Oh, they talked. For hours. The truth broke me. Not only had they planned to divorce me, not only had they strategized how to drain my salary, they had also been planning for over a year, because Marielle had secretly gone off birth control, tracked ovulation without telling me, and deliberately gotten pregnant because her mother told her a baby guaranteed financial security. An actual quote from Helena: "Men are easiest to trap when they feel needed." Then came something worse. I discovered $15,000 in credit card debt in both our names, all opened without my knowledge. Spa trips, baby furniture we supposedly saved for, shopping sprees at boutiques, lunches, weekends away. Every penny charged to cards I didn't even know existed. I screenshotted everything. Then I called the one person I trusted, my old college friend, Bram, now a seasoned family lawyer. The lawyer's face said everything. We met at his office after hours. I played 10 minutes of the recordings. He paused them. Holy God, Ronan, this is a goldmine. Then he looked at me strangely. I have to ask this, even though you won't like it. Are you sure the baby is yours? My world stilled. I hadn't once considered that. We'll request a non-invasive prenatal paternity test through court order, Bram said. You won't have to ask her directly. He slid a legal pad toward me. And from now on, you act normal. You keep recording, you keep smiling, and you give them enough rope to hang themselves with. The next few weeks were hell. I went to prenatal appointments, held her hand, talked about the future, pretended to be excited. Meanwhile, the recorders captured everything. Them planning Helena's remodeled garage nursery. Them calculating child support like they were budgeting a vacation. Them discussing how much alimony they could extract them, mocking me. Them calling me the income source. Them saying I'd find some lonely new wife anyway. Every conversation was more vile than the last. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat much. But I stayed calm, because I had a plan. When court day came, they expected a victim. They did not get one. I'll write the full courtroom showdown in the next part if you want. But here's a preview. When Bram played the first recording in court, Helena's face went white. Marielle cried so hard she couldn't speak. The judge paused the session twice because the things they said were that damning. And the paternity test? Let's just say the result made everything even more explosive. Court wasn't supposed to happen for months, but two things fast-tracked everything. The paternity test results came back earlier than expected. My lawyer, Bram, filed an emergency motion citing fraud, marital deception, and financial endangerment. That combination? Judges don't ignore it. A court date was set within 3 weeks. During that time, I played the perfect husband. Gentle, attentive, supportive, all while knowing the truth about the baby, the debt, the scheme, the betrayal. But I waited, because the courtroom was where everything would unravel with maximum impact. The courtroom. The judge was an older woman with a stare that could turn granite into steam. Firm, sharp, no nonsense. Marielle sat on one side of the courtroom with her attorney, some flashy guy in a silver tie. Helena sat behind her looking like she owned the place. I sat with Bram. My hands didn't shake. I felt nothing but precision, the pregnancy. Right off the bat, the judge asked, before we proceed with any support discussions, there is a motion concerning paternity? Bram stood. Yes, Your Honor. The prenatal test was completed and verified by the lab. The results indicate a 0% probability that my client is the father. Marielle snapped her head toward me so fast I thought she'd crack something. Her attorney scrambled. Your Honor, this must be an error. We request— No, the judge said flatly. The lab's certification is valid. Is there any contradictory evidence? Silence. Helena's mouth hung open for a full 5 seconds. Marielle burst into tears, loud, dramatic, almost theatrical. But the judge wasn't moved. I didn't say a word. Didn't need to. The first domino had fallen. The recordings. Then Bram stood again. Your Honor, we have additional evidence demonstrating extensive marital fraud, financial deception, and malicious intent. The judge raised a brow. Proceed. Bram pressed play. The audio, part 1. Marielle's voice filled the courtroom. Mom, I don't know. What if he actually fights back? Helena replied. Men don't, especially not when a baby is involved. Courts always take the mother's side. Marielle sniffling. I just feel kind of guilty. He's been so excited. Helena cutting her off. Stop, you're doing what's best for you. He's boring anyway. Someone in the court actually gasped. The judge held up a hand. Continue. The audio, part 2. The next clip played. Once the baby comes, you file for divorce, emotional neglect, overwork, whatever makes you look sympathetic. Then, he makes good money. He'll pay child support and alimony for years. You'll live comfortably for the rest of your life. The judge's jaw tightened. But Bram wasn't done. He played the clip where they laughed, actually laughed, about everyone winning except him. Then the moment that sealed it. Men are easiest to trap when they feel needed. The court's reaction. The judge leaned back slowly. Mrs. Vale, she said to Marielle, do you wish to explain any of this? Marielle sobbed, shaking her head, mumbling incoherently. Helena tried to stand and speak. The judge barked, sit down. You are not a party to this case. Helena sat, hard. The financial deception. Next, Bram laid out the credit card fraud. 3 accounts opened in both our names, $15,000 in hidden debt charges for trips, luxury boutiques, spas, evidence she'd quit her job months before telling me, screenshot statements, dates, everything documented. Marielle's attorney didn't even try to argue. He only muttered, my client was under emotional distress, The judge cut him off. Your client engineered a long-term financial scheme and lies to obtain support she was not entitled to. That's not distress, that's manipulation. The judge's verdict. When it was all over, she ruled immediate dissolution of the marriage on grounds of marital fraud, deception, and breach of trust. Marielle receives no spousal support. Intentional entrapment and financial deception void her eligibility. No child support. Because legal paternity denied. The baby was legally recognized as not mine, with all paternal responsibility assigned elsewhere. Marielle is solely responsible for the $15,000 debt, every cent. I received exclusive rights to the house she had to vacate within 10 days. Compensatory damages, she was ordered to reimburse the full cost of the prenatal expenses, and a portion of my attorney fees due to her fraudulent intent. The judge delivered the final blow. Mrs. Vale, your actions demonstrate calculated exploitation. This court will not reward malicious behavior. Marielle crumpled. Helena stared straight ahead, stiff and trembling, like someone realizing the lottery ticket she bragged about was fake. After court, Marielle chased me down the hallway as I left. Ronan, please talk to me. I didn't stop walking. Ronan, I made mistakes. I was scared. Mom pressured me. I stepped into the elevator. She tried to follow. The security guard blocked her. The last thing I saw before the doors closed was Helena gripping her daughter's arms, hissing something angry and vicious into her ear. The storm they created finally turned on them. Aftermath. Marielle moved back in with Helena. Except Helena wasn't thrilled anymore. Because instead of collecting comfortable support payments, they were stuck with a pregnancy, no income, legal fees, a mountain of debt, no house, no plan, and no one to blame but themselves. As for the real father, he never stepped forward. And from what Bram later heard through legal circles, he might not even know there is a baby. My life now. I kept the house, kept my peace, went back to work, rebuilt everything. And I didn't date. Not for a long time. Not because I didn't meet people, but because I learned something sharp and unforgettable. Trust is fragile. Ignoring your instincts is deadly. And someone who smiles at you can still be plotting your downfall, like a business strategy. But I also learned something else. I survived, I walked away clean. And I never let them take the rest of my life with them.